Happy Friday, everybody. This is Garnet and Old. No inside info, no context, no problem. We do have a couple contexts as related to the conversation we're going to have today. But I want to thank everybody for joining us or joining me on a Friday. I don't think Ryan's going to join today. I think Ryan's got another obligation right now. But he sends his well wishes and he sends his own send Chiefs all the damn time. I'm going to wait a few minutes here for some more people to kind of get into the get into the chat or get into the stream. If you don't mind, if you're interested in this topic, if you wouldn't mind sharing out the link to some other people in your feed, that'd be great. The more people we have watching this, the better, because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and if we can clear some of that up, that's always a good thing. So we'll wait a few seconds here and see if some other people join in, and then we'll get right to it. If you're not familiar with Garnet and Old, this is a weekly show, at least weekly show, that I put on with my co-host Ryan, Big Papa East. We do it every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Strictly or mostly about Florida State and the athletics behind that, but also a lot about the Chiefs because of my background in the Chiefs as well. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed on the YouTube channel, please do so. We're trying to get to the magic number of 1,000. We're getting very close. And so I appreciate anybody that's willing to like or share or subscribe or at least pass it around, let everybody know. So yeah, it looks like we got a good group of people in here. And by the way, if you want to comment, I'm watching the comments as well. If you have any questions you want to ask, that'd be great too. So let's go ahead and get started. I am wearing, by the way, Sir, we're the band, Marching Chiefs all the damn time. This is the shirt put out by Madison Social a few years ago as a result of some ridiculous interactions on social media with some band members and the band in general. And I've also got on, I'm the old part of Garnet and Old of the combo. I'm wearing my Marching Chiefs jacket here because today is a good day, and this is vintage. The kids would say this is vintage. This is old school, and it is quite warm actually to wear this satin jacket in my house. But let's get to it. So, for those of you that have been paying attention for the last, over a year or so, we've been promoting on Garnet and Old and trying to get the word out there as well that the Chiefs, the Marching Chiefs, work hard. We all know that, and they all are doing whatever they can to support the university, to support athletics. And if you look around, if you're ever on campus at any time, whether it's spring, fall, summer, whatever, there seems to always be some kind of event going on that the Chiefs or some portion of the Chiefs are involved in. So it's not just the athletics part of stuff, but obviously that is the predominant thing. So it started happening in the last few years where the Chiefs weren't able to send any kind of representation to away games like a lot of Power Five schools, a lot of Division One schools do that, and so and it's quite different than when I was in school. We were blessed to be able to go to a lot of away games, and that's just not the case these days. And I don't think that's great. I don't think that's great. So we started this hashtag about a year ago. Send Chiefs all the damn time. You're familiar with MCATDT if you're watching the show. Marching Chiefs all the damn time. A little play off of that is send Chiefs all the damn time. And so if you have if you love the Chiefs, if you're involved with the Chiefs at all, if you have kids in the Chiefs or relatives in the Chiefs or friends in the Chiefs, that's how we're trying to get some momentum built around making sure the Chiefs have a representation at as many away games as we can make happen. So let's get down to the Ireland part. Last year, toward the end of last year, and I don't know the exact timing of all this, but there was a survey sent out to the current Chiefs and trying to get a gauge of who would be interested in going to Ireland next year if that opportunity came about. And so, the Chiefs, filled this out and basically, said, yes, I'm going to be in Chief. I'm planning on being in Chiefs next year, and I would love to go to. I don't know what the exact survey said, but that was the idea behind that, because they're trying to plan ahead, which is what great leadership does. So they did that, and so I'm sure, I know all the numbers, and again, the numbers I'm giving you are like the way I kind of put this all together. Um, those students, or the students, got a communication either today or yesterday that basically outlined a certain amount of people in the Chiefs that are going to have the opportunity to go to Ireland in August. And that basically boils down to next year's juniors, next year's seniors, and next year's super seniors, or 5 year seniors, or whatever you want to call them. And so that is that the greatest news everybody's ever heard? No, I think we would all agree that we would want the whole group to go, right? I mean, that's what we would love, is for the whole group to go. There's nothing like 420 marching chiefs, taking over a stadium. Just ask our rivals. But that's, monetarily, fiscally not possible. So, I don't want to say whether it's fair or unfair, but the end result is basically the juniors, the seniors next year, and the 5th year seniors or super seniors are going to have the opportunity to go to Ireland in August. Um, so, when that news started to get out earlier today, people started to find out about it, and I know, because I have some friends that have students in the Chiefs, or have friends in the Chiefs that don't fall into that category, and it's a disappointing thing, and so I want to make sure I make sure you understand that I get that, I understand that, and all things being equal, we would love to send everybody. Um, but let's just talk about, like, what that means in terms of finances are concerned, because I think just getting to the point of saying, junior, seniors, and super seniors is a significant thing. Most of the time, when teams are invited to go to this Ireland game, what we've seen is schools are sending, 50 of their band members, or maybe less than that, or maybe none at all. And so when we found out about the Ireland trip, the first thing in my head was, this is going to be a big mountain to climb to figure out how many of the Marching Chiefs would be able to attend. And so when I started hearing the fact that it was going to be 50, I was like, man, that is a very, very small amount. And that's, when the Send Chiefs All the Damn Time started to really, like, we have to know what's about to happen here in case we need to figure out some way to raise some money or whatever. If you start looking at the dollars behind, juniors, seniors, and super seniors, um, I was trying to calculate in my head how many people that really is, right? So if you figure the Chiefs roughly march about 400 to 420 students per year, and then you figure, just because of you know, um, the way matriculating through a university works, the freshman class is usually the largest group. Then it kind of trickles down in the sophomores, and then the juniors and the seniors. So as the students get older, or they get through their college career, there are less and less numbers in that higher class. And so I was trying to figure out approximately how many people that would be in terms of junior, senior, and super senior. And again, I may be totally wrong about this, but in my brain, it turns out to be probably 150 to 180 students. And again, I may be off. Um, but that's the Vince math that I'm doing there. Um, and that is a ton more than 50 students. Um, that is a big deal. And I was never under the impression, by the way, and I hope nobody was. I was never under the impression that all 420 Chiefs were going to be able to go. unless someone with some big pockets stepped up to the mat. And that's just it could happen. Sure, I mean anything can happen. So let's talk about now. So if we're going to take that number, like 150 to 180, or let's just say 150 to 200, let's just round it off, make the math a little easier. I started looking at, because my wife and I are going to go to Ireland as well. We started, looking at the prices and everything to do with that. And we started figuring out how much maybe it would cost per student to go to Ireland. And keep in mind that the Chiefs going to Ireland is not like, the vacation of a lifetime. Like they're not going there to go on these tours of the cliffs of Moher or Moher and doing all the things that that hopefully we're going to do as fans going, right? It's like a business trip for them. Like they're going to go over there, they're going to have some things they need to do as part of the event. They're going to have the game, and then they're pretty much going to come home. And hopefully there's some other things that are sprinkled in there, but it's not like they're going to be there for weeks on end. So dollars wise, let's think about this for a second. If you're talking about 100, let's just say it's 150. I kind of estimate that to go on a trip, like say Wednesday through Sunday, would be about $3,000 per student. That at a minimum is going to be $450,000 to send the Chiefs to Ireland for that game. If it's on the upper end of that, if it's 200, then you're talking, that's easy math, right? 200 times 3,000. You're talking about $600,000 for the Chiefs to go, or for that group of Chiefs. That is not an insignificant amount of money. And so let's just push that out even further. Um, let's just say that all the Chiefs had the opportunity to go. Let's just say 400 of them. Then you're talking, 400 times 3,000. That's well over $1 million to send the Chiefs to Ireland for that game. And don't get me wrong, like if someone wants to open up that kind of wallet, then do it, and I think everybody would bow down in awe. But $600,000 is quite a mountain to climb, considering this next thing that I want to bring up, which is really the crux of Send Chiefs All the Damn Time. And that is, Send Chiefs All the Damn Time is not predicated on sending the Chiefs to Ireland, overseas, abroad. Send Chiefs All the Damn Time. The purpose of that is for like and during the season, like away games. That to me, that is more important, way more important than Ireland. And I don't want to diminish the Ireland part of it, but really, how many of you were not very happy when there were no Chiefs at away games last season? I mean, I wasn't. Yes, that is a Georgia Southern hat in the back. My younger daughter goes to Georgia Southern, and she's a big Florida State fan too. Um, so that's the point of Send the Chiefs All the Damn Time. And so I don't look at what's happening now with Ireland as like a failure at all. Like to me, when I first started hearing about it, I was worried that it was going to be 50 or less, because history has shown that if we're not even sending marching Chiefs to the Miami game, what are the chances of sending any across the pond? Probably not very good. Um, so having the thought that 150, like I said, this is very generalities here, but 150 to 200 going, that is going to be a significant amount of the Chiefs that are going to be in Ireland, um, and doing what they always do best, and that is representing the university uh, in a way that we can all be proud of, with professionalism and quality. And that's just what they do. And am I biased? Yeah, absolutely, I'm biased. Um, So how can you? So the other thing I was seeing online today is how can you help? Excuse me. Um, First of all, if the question is how can you help get more Chiefs to Ireland, um, one of the things that, and whether it's more Chiefs or not, is not the right question to ask. But how can we get Chiefs to Ireland? There are two uh, main ways to do that. Okay. The first way that's available to you right now, actually, there are three ways. The first way that's available to you right now is through the Marching Chiefs Travel Endowment. And I'm going to put a link in the chat here in in StreamYard here. So you should get it on all feeds that you are watching on. That should take you directly to the Give to FSU site where you can donate to the Marching Chiefs Travel Endowment, and that is for all travel, right? So whether it's Ireland or away games, like remember, folks, Florida State is traveling to Notre Dame this season. We're going to have the same discussion. Are any Chiefs going to Notre Dame? Are any Chiefs going to Miami? Are any, you know what I'm saying? Like we're going to be having these same discussions and we're going to have these same, frustrations if this doesn't if we don't start planning ahead. Okay. That's the first link I wanted to give you. The second link I want to give you is related to FSU's Great Give. And the Great Give is like a 1 day a year thing where it's kind of a blitz uh, to donate and fundraise as much money as possible during that blitz to pull some funds together. That is happening on March 6th. Okay. So if you're looking for an opportunity to make sure you earmark your money for the Chiefs, this is how you do it. People keep asking, how can I change things? This is how you change things. Okay. Um, and then the third thing, which I'm going to bring up right now, which I don't have a link for yet because I don't think it's available yet. We talked about this on our show a few weeks ago. Um, just like just like when you donate to Seminole Boosters, you have an opportunity to donate to specific sports teams. They're called coaches clubs. You can donate specifically to the women's basketball team, the FSU softball team, which by the way lost today. It was a crazy game. You are going to be able to donate directly to the Chiefs, and I don't think that's available yet. I haven't seen it yet, but at some point soon, you're going to have the opportunity to Coaches Club your Seminole Booster donation right to the Chiefs. And to me, that is a big win because that's going to be available to a much broader audience that's donating to the university in general. Okay. So those are the three ways. So if you're on social media and you're asking people, or if you see people asking this question, please give them these links. Donate to those areas, and that's going to help things not just for Ireland, okay, but for the end goal. And the end goal is sending Chiefs all the damn time to as many events as possible, and it takes money. We all know. So I'm going to look at some comments here right now. So if you have any comments or questions you want to ask, I'm going to go through those right now. Keeping in mind, we'll have extra fifth years due to fifth years, first year being COVID and Ireland excitement. Yeah, that's right. So fifth year, we're going to have more fifth years this year because think about this now. The fifth years started their university career as COVID people. And as having a daughter that started in that year, it wasn't great. Like they didn't get the full experience. So, and like I told my daughter, like when she said, "Dad, I think I'm going to stretch this out a little bit because I don't feel like I got the full experience." You are absolutely right. So you're going to have some extra fifth years due to that, and that is true. So again, juniors, seniors, and super seniors or fifth year seniors are going to make up that contingent that have the opportunity to go to Ireland. I wonder if, and Musical Melon, hi, Musical Melon. I don't know that I recognize the name. If you're new to the show here, I would appreciate you go and subscribe. we talk about the Chiefs a lot during our show. I wonder if the students were given the option to help fundraise for this trip like they did for France. That First of all, let me start with the France thing because I've seen some comments about the trip to France, and trying to equate the Ireland trip to the trip to France. Like the trip to France was pretty much fundraising, like everyone had to fundraise their own money, right? Which is very different than what this is going to be. So they're not apples to apples. But the question you're asking, I don't know the answer to that question, right? I imagine like if I was in charge of the Chiefs, one of the first things they're going to have to do is figure out who is really dedicated to going to Ireland, and how do you get people to commit? What do you have them do? Right, you have them put a deposit down. Right, that's how you get people to commit. So I imagine that's gonna be the first step. Is like if you're really serious about this, let's get a commitment from you that you are serious about it, and then from that point on, they'll have a much better handle on how many people are committed, financially committed to going. And then if there's something comes out of that, I don't know, but I don't have an answer to that question. Um, Laura Ray, first time watching, third year majorette, and super stoked. Welcome, Laura. Again, you're watching on YouTube. If you would do my heart well, my chief heart well, for you to go and subscribe. Like I said, it's a lot of sports talk, but I always work in the Chiefs, and we already talked about the Georgia Southern. So welcome, Laura, and you're living in Statesboro. Great place. I love Statesboro when I go to visit my younger daughter there. Any other comments or questions? And I'll answer what I know. If you have any questions, and like I said, I've had to kind of piece this together just from my experience of being in the Chiefs in the past, and trying to price out what an Ireland trip would be for me. So, if you have any other questions, I'll leave this open here for another moment or two. And if we don't have any more questions, I just want to, you know, end the show by basically saying, whenever you have to make tough decisions about things like this, there are always people that are going to be disappointed or left out, and it's not an easy thing to do. And so, understand that the leadership of the Chiefs and leadership in general, have a limited hand that they can play. Right. So, disappointed, I get it, and but let's fix it going forward. Let's try to fix this going forward by checking out those links I put in. And if you have the means, please, donate to this super worthy cause. I imagine if you're watching this, you know the time the Chiefs put in. You know how dedicated they are. It is only right that they have the backing resources to be able to get them to the things that they deserve to go to. So I'll end it there. Thank you everybody for watching. This has just been a quick show. Garnet and Old. We do a show every Thursday, 7 p.m. And our tagline is no inside info, no contacts, no problem. In this instance, just because of my background, I feel like I have a little bit of inside. Um, maybe not, maybe the numbers aren't exactly right, but close. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. And if you would also on your social media channel, start pumping Send Chiefs all the damn time. Um, that's the way people get to see it. So thank you, everybody. And go Knowles, go Chiefs.